Hello and welcome back to this complimentary training. I'm Chris from LifterLMS and I'm joined by a good friend, Daniel Iser. Daniel is from PopUp Maker, which powers, I think, almost 800,000 pop-up systems on WordPress websites worldwide. Pop-ups are an important part of increasing revenue, driving user behavior, and being helpful. Sometimes pop-ups have a bad rap because they're seen as, kind of annoying or just kind of clickbait type stuff. But if you use pop-ups correctly, they can not be annoying. They can be helpful. They can guide people where you want them to go, and they can increase your revenue, your course enrollments, and all kinds of things. If you've been on the Lifter LMS website, which if you're on this webinar, I'm sure you have, all of our pop-ups are powered by PopUp Maker. We switched to PopUp Maker from a different pop-up solution many years ago, and I couldn't be happier. We use it on the Lifter LMS Academy site. So our Lifter LMS powered LMS site to do a lot of different things. We use it for cart abandonment recovery, which is like one of the main use cases. You also have what's known as exit intent, where when somebody tries to leave your site, it's not like you want to kind of jump in front of them. It's more like, hey, before you go, have you considered X? It could be an upgrade. It could be a call to action to enroll in a free or paid course. You can do upsells with pop-ups. There's so much you can do. And you can also leverage PopUp Maker. And the reason why we're doing this webinar is PopUp Maker has created deep Lifter LMS integrations with so many features that specifically integrate with Lifter LMS. We're going to go over the highlights of that today. This is going to be an interactive session. So if you're live on the call, feel free to ask questions. Just use the comments wherever you're watching this, whether you're in the StreamYard webinar or watching on YouTube, Facebook, or wherever. We're here to answer your questions. But before we go further, I want to welcome you, Daniel, to the webinar. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you for doing this. And thank you for integrating PopUp Maker with Lifter LMS.
Well, thanks for having us. We we've been around a long time. We've been listening to user feedback for a long time, and one of the places we've always really enjoyed reaching out is with integrations. And I don't know why we didn't do this one sooner, to be honest. Kind of with our friendship here, we should have really tightened this one up a long time ago. But I'm super excited to get feedback, show off what we do have now, and then hopefully see what we can build to improve this in the future, because this is only version 1, and I have big visions or plans for what we could do with this. And we're just now kind of starting to scratch the surface. So super excited to be here.
That is awesome. And I do want to mention for those of you that are with us live, if you're live on this webinar, we're gonna at the end ask you to drop a certain comment. And from the folks that are live, we're gonna do 2 giveaways. We will randomly draw somebody who will get a free year of the Lifter LMS Infinity Bundle, which is all the software we make. And PopUp Maker is also doing a giveaway. And we have for anybody on the call, you can get PopUp Maker for 40% off. We'll put a link to that in the chat in a little bit. So check that out. And I'd encourage you to just get started. By the way, PopUp Maker has a free version, which you can start with. And I highly recommend you do that. But to get the LMS features that integrate deeply with Lifter LMS, you're going to need a Pro Plus plan level from PopUp Maker, and you'll see that in the link, which I'll drop in a second. But just to kind of get going into the main content, the biggest things to think about with pop-ups, like you can do so many different things with them, but if you use the frame of let's make some more money, let's be be more engaging with our students, like help them get where they want to go or encourage certain behaviors. This is what we're going to be focusing on in this training, but the sky is the limit with what you can do with PopUp Maker and with all the advanced targeting of when they show, how they show, what they say, what's on the pop-up. There's just so much you can do. But if it starts to feel overwhelming because it is so powerful, it's the most powerful, customizable, affordable pop-up solution for WordPress. I would encourage you to just stay focused on, driving more sales, capturing revenue, upselling, and, engaging your students in your LMS with helpful pop-ups. But I'll pass it over to you, Daniel. Where do you want to start? Where do you want to dive in and start our tour of what's possible with PopUp Maker and Lifter LMS?
So I will just touch on, there are some, as you pointed out, there's a little bit of a learning curve, probably is the best way to put it. We are working to eliminate that in the near future, with one-click instant pop-up solutions. But currently, the only real learning curve is learning the difference between a trigger, a targeting rule, and a cookie, and when they all work. And we can get you through that pretty quickly, but we're not going to touch too much on that. The reality is Pop-Up Maker is a very flexible solution. You can create just about any. It's meant to be able to create simple stuff really quickly, but also to be able to create something completely custom and built to your spec. We do that by mainly providing you with a customizable container and functionality built around that container, and then you can kind of design whatever you want to go inside of it. This allows you to use a page builder. This allows you to use Gutenberg. This allows you to use your favorite embeddable forms, whatever you want to bring to the table. If you can insert it in a WordPress page, you could probably put it in one of our pop-ups. I do want to get started. We actually do have a demo site. Let me see if I can get my screen sharing here going. Let's see, share screen. Yeah, that's okay.
While he's bringing that up, I've got in the chat, wherever you're watching this, you'll see the link to go check out PopUp Maker and get the 40% discount.
All right. If you can see this here.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I went ahead and set up a couple pop-ups. We're just going to focus on these top four here. The demo site comes pre-populated with a bunch of stuff. We're going to mainly focus on the LMS ones. The ones we talked about setting up for today was a cart abandonment example, which we've had a lot of success with. Our own cart abandonment has effectively generated something like $100,000 over the last 7 years. And we have only formalized this into a full feature set that we can pass on to our customers in the last about 6 months or so, and that's where Pop-Up Maker Pro comes in. Give you a quick review of how that works. Let's just start with the cart abandonment. Let's go ahead and say we have this right here. Pull up a new tab. We still see the new tab? Yes, we can.
Oh.
All right. So we'll go ahead and go to our membership catalog, enroll. And then they get here and they go to hit the back button. They go to close the browser, whatever. They're gonna don't mind the design. It's not meant to be beautiful at the moment. This is all you need really. A simple 5 or 10% offer we have found will drive 12% more conversions, check or purchases to your checkout. And simply clicking the button, you can see it automatically applies it. The real magic here, though, is what happens behind the scene. I'm going to go ahead and complete purchase here. All right. So behind the scenes, though, what actually just happened is we tracked the value of the click on that call to action in your pop-up. We didn't just track the pop-up value. We tracked that the cart had a value and that we're saving that cart for $900 effectively. So when we go back into our analytics for that pop-up now, cart abandonment, you'll actually see we just tracked a $900 purchase. So basically, and I'll show you what our own looks like in just a minute. But effectively, you can save about 10% more carts. And what we found is that we don't actually have as many email-based cart abandonment recoveries. Almost none of our cart abandonments make it to the email phase. They end up recovering before they ever leave the website with the small 5% discount that we offer them. On average, we see this used probably 3 to 5 times a week, and probably roughly about 5 to 7% of our checkouts end up that way. Um, but it has a profound effect when combined with other pop-ups that you can add into the system here. Make sure there's no questions before we move on. That's a pretty simple pop-up. I want to show you how it's set up here now, real quickly. There is 2 parts to this. First is we have a call to action, the actual button that's in there, and that is it simply applies a pre-made coupon. Um, you can choose to make your own coupon. In the near future, we'll have a discount generator that will automatically generate unique one-time codes that are time limited, so you can even put a countdown timer in it. We have lots of ideas that are coming, but we'll see how that works out. Then in the pop-up itself, really simply, we're using an exit intent trigger, and we're targeting it to the checkout page. You can actually add additional targeting here. Let's say you wanted the cart to have a specific item in it. So you could do a different offer for bigger plans. You could do a different offer if the cart totals over a certain value. You can target that however you want. And then a call to action, which works just like a button. You can style them however you like. And that simple combo effectively gives you a um, fully trackable circle of conversion there. Once they click the button, they're in the system. We track visitor data, we track session data, and we also track all of the event data. The reports currently don't show everything, but in the near future, you'll be able to see a lot more details about individual users who have made these purchases and everything else. Um,
That's awesome. And I just want to add, this is the Lifter LMS integration. Like this is integrating with the Lifter LMS cart, the Lifter LMS coupon system, the Lifter LMS access plans. This is all just deep Lifter integrations. So not only is Pop-Up Maker, pop-ups are great for general use, like capturing emails, but this is there's so many things that Daniel and Pop-Up Maker have done to integrate tightly with Lifter LMS. And we've just scratched the surface here. And maybe while we're here just talking about carts and e-commerce, a percentage of the people that use Lifter LMS use it with WooCommerce. Can you speak to how Pop-Up Maker works with WooCommerce in general?
Absolutely. Basically, everything you see for the cart and the upsells here, you can absolutely do with WooCommerce and a lot more. Our WooCommerce integration actually came first, and is much more refined. We've actually been working on that one for a few years, and then we added the call to actions, which really completed the system over the last 6 months. With that, you can effectively do all of the one-click upsells, cross sells. You can do you can target people based on their expiring subscriptions. Your card is no longer valid. Um, Honestly, there's lots of targeting rules in there and so many options. It's almost hard to come up with things on the spot at the moment. But if anything that's not there, we love adding new targeting rules. We just need to know what you need, and we can do those fairly quickly. And then the same tracking for purchases and everything applies to WooCommerce, but you actually get a little bit more capabilities because WooCommerce obviously supports multiple items per cart, whereas Lifter obviously is limited to one.
Did you um what was I gonna say? Did you mention the oh shoot, I lost my thought. I'll come back to it. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. I do want to show. Let's see if I can pull up. I want to pull up our own, and I'll share that. I just want to
Oh,
show
I
you.
remember as you're pulling that up, what I was gonna ask is you kind of hinted at it, but I just wanted to say it out loud here that you're really wanting Lifter LMS user feedback for more integration ideas and how to make PopUp Maker even more powerful and useful to course builders, online
Absolutely.
education entrepreneurs. So what could somebody expect if they like really get into the world of pop-ups from PopUp Maker in terms of feature ideas and things like that?
So what we're actually doing is we are opening up an entire, I don't know if you can still see the screen here.
We can.
We're opening up an entire community. We're using Fluent Communities at the moment. We've had a 4 to 5 thousand member strong Facebook group going on 7 or 8 years now, and we're slowly moving everybody to a private community where we can actually expand, have channels and things like that. So with Lifter, we're actually our LMS integration will offer other LMSs eventually, but we're trying to iron out all of the major pain points that an LMS has with Chris and you guys. So right now would be the ideal time to get in. You can get into our private community with for pro members only. You can get direct feedback from me. I can answer questions. If you need help setting stuff up, we have an excellent support team who's been helping people for over a decade. Um, and then if you have feature ideas or feature requests, obviously when something's newer like this and we're moving really quickly, now would be the excellent time to get them in. So if you join now, you're locking in a lower price because prices are going to go up later this year, or I'm sorry, early next year. And then B, you get your feedback heard immediately and on the ground level of this product as it's slowly being built out. Um, so we totally look forward to that. Honestly, this product's Pop-Up Maker was always built on user feedback. That's the reason it grew the way it did, was completely naturally. We did almost no marketing. We just listened to users, built what they wanted, and kept doing that. So that's what we're going to keep doing.
Awesome. And just to be clear, you said when somebody gets a paid plan, they get an invite to that community. Is that right?
Correct. Right now, that's not automated, but it will be probably by the end of the day. Yeah. Um, So if you join by the end of the day and you don't have your invite, just make sure you ping me and Twitter, Slack, Chris, anybody who can get a hold of me, and we will make sure you get in there, ping our support. Um, Once you're in there, if you got questions, drop them. Honestly, it's a private community. We want it to be open to marketing ideas. We want it to be opening to pop-up, not just pop-up stuff, because we're slowly going to be moving towards a full conversion suite as opposed to just simple pop-ups.
Nice.
Just to go over, this is our own card abandonment. This one has only been running on the pro analytics, basically using the exact same stuff you'll have access to for about 2.5 months. Actually, you can see exactly when it started. It's sometime in June. Yeah, 4 months, whatever. And this one has generated almost $3,000. Long term, we had another similar offer, the exact same offering, similar features that just didn't have the conversion tracking into Pop-Up Maker, and we generated almost $100,000 over the last 7 years from just the 5% cart abandonment offer. And I need to really stress here that we have email-based cart abandonment. But if I pull up those metrics, you're going to see that it's almost zero emails sent the second we turn these on. Like, this is way more effective and from what we found than the email capture based follow-ups. And you're getting them before they ever have a chance to leave. So this is a very powerful one-off solution that you can implement right now. No customization, just a simple 5% offer. All right, moving on. All right, so some of the other demos we set up. Let's see here. We set up a, obviously, if you have users who are midway through course completion, we can set up a simple course completion one. It's targeting anybody who's enrolled but not completed, right? So enrolled in the course, but not, this little red dot here turns something to a not. That'll be a little bit more user-friendly in the near future. So effectively, this says they are enrolled in this course, they have not completed it, and we're not going to show this while they're on Lifter pages because the assumption here is that they're already probably doing another course or something. We don't want to interrupt a normal flow. And what that effectively does is is showing them a keep learning, get back to it. You can set these up lots of different ways. The current one is set up to just be generic. I'm going to show you how it looks here. Real simple, and clicking it just simply takes you to the class. Now, all the call to actions here are trackable as well, so you know exactly how many clicks each one has. This pop-ups analytics will show you what page it was on when they clicked it. You get a lot of detail that that you're just not going to get if you're just having a button there for them to click. That's a simple one. Another one, and this one might be a little trickier to do. So I already did the quiz. Let's see. Another pop-up we set up here really quickly is you earned a certificate. Obviously, awards and you can grant achievements, grant awards through a button click. This one, again, is a simple call to action with the LMS. It's set up to give them an award. It'll skip it if they don't have it already. It will still send the note. You can optionally send the notifications to have the little notification that pops up in the thing, or send the emails. And then targeting wise, it's targeting the specific quiz score. So making sure if they scored over a certain level. And then this one's just on a time delay. And that one, when it shows up, when they click it, let's see, get back to the front end here. I think I've already completed the quiz. Yep. So they would see this immediately after completing the quiz. I actually was testing it last night, and it does show up immediately. And if they click that, it comes up nice. They get their little course completion here. And of course, they can go straight to downloading it. If there's any questions now.
Awesome. And I just want to add, that's like, if you're familiar with LifterLMS engagements, like, or an achievement badge, a certificate, an email based on behavior in the LMS, PopUp Maker hooked into that so that you can trigger those types of things from a pop-up, which makes for some cool ways to design interactive learning. That's it basically unlocks an unlimited amount of ways to trigger these things. So when you're designing a learning experience or a learning environment, if you want to make it more fun or make sure they do something, or they need to take an action, and then they take the action, and then they get the pop-up, and then they get the thing, like, you can start really designing a unique experience in that way, which is super powerful.
Yeah, in my mind, this is very much like is it Discord or what's the old forum, not the old, the thread style discourse,
Yeah.
where you have like, you can have, oh, you clicked the button, oh, congratulations, you made your first comment, congratulations, accept this achievement. Like, there's lots of things you can totally do with this. It's actually, and the way I see some of these is not every one of these is built to give you more money. Obviously, if everything would giving you more money would be nice, but a lot of these are just nice their encouragement, their user encouragement, their nice user enhancements to make your average user's life a little bit better while they're going through your programs. Absolutely, we can totally do cool stuff like that. Whoa.
That was me. I just put a comment in. Daniel's doing a demo site right now. So if you like to learn by just playing around and messing with it,
Yeah.
you
Awesome.
can get your own LifterLMS PopUp Maker demo site that already has some of these, some examples of what you could do with it, and just play with the tool. So that's available.
You might have to excuse that I accidentally completed the course as the admin on my base demo site. So when you clone this, you're probably already done with the class, unfortunately. So you'll have to create another user to test that with until I fix that later today. But it is working quite nicely.
Yeah, and Kurt was saying it would be cool to have a pop-up to alert group
Yes.
leaders when a member completes a course. So that's like a specific use case when somebody's using our groups add-on. So like if you sell training to a company, the company would get a pop-up when one of their group members in the course, completes, which is a cool idea.
Yeah, absolutely. I was actually just trying to figure out how to copy that comment. I can't figure out how to. Yeah, absolutely. And that's what I'm here for. I've come up with ideas, but I don't run an LMS. I don't run a course site at the moment, and putting myself in your shoes is almost impossible. So happen when Chris completes his next 100 minutes? Well, I can probably build something into PopUp Maker and just have it just everybody gets a pop-up, when Chris completes a 100-miler. But then we're into spam territory, so I don't know. We'll see
Well,
how that
that's the
goes.
concept a little bit of what's called an Easter egg. So some of what we're talking about here is gamification.
Yes.
So pop-ups are a great way to it combined with Pop-up Maker's call to action system. You can really design interesting surprises into your LMS that make it fun. I'm trying to think of a good example, but I know
Well,
my mind was really
I
blown when I understood like the power of calls to action as Pop-up Maker does them.
I can give you a and this is a Easter egg we had on our website for 7 years, and only one person that I know of ever actually found it. We had all of the features for our pop-ups listed as little miniature bubbles on a feature grid, and each one of them was a pop-up with its own little color and background and a close button. And you could close each one of them, and as they closed, it just listed the name of the feature below it. But if you closed all 16 of them, it would pop up and it'd be like, "You curious cat," and it would give them a 100% off discount code. And like only one person ever used the discount code. So I don't know how many people ever found it, but I'm pretty sure it was very few. But Easter eggs are fun. I might make the next one a little easier to find, but
Mhm.
uh, but yeah, those are the kinds of things we're looking for. Honestly, before April Fool's comes this year, Chris has already seen this. I made this 2 years ago, and we didn't know where to put it because we're in an extension based model. We're moving entirely to a pro platform where there's a main pro plugin now where we can put fun stuff. Um, we had what I don't remember if I called it clicky the close button or twitchy. That's right. It was
Yeah.
twitchy the close button, and we built a close button with personality effectively. It was for April Fools. You would go to click it, and it would blink out of appearance. It would just like ninja vanish, a little smoke bomb, and then it would appear like a few seconds later, and then you go to click it again, and it would run off, grow legs, and run off the screen. So we are absolutely willing to have fun. We are absolutely willing to help you have fun and have your users have fun. This isn't just about making money. If it was all about money, then it'd be kind of boring. But there's a lot of interesting things you can do once you start. So the real catch is to actually just start. Open up the demo site, let your brain like go through the basic examples, how the triggers and cookies work together, and then I don't know, go come up with the wildest ideas you can and ask us, and we'll help you get it done.
That's
Um,
awesome.
all right, so I have one more, and then we can kind of just go through top level of all the things we actually do have. I can kind of list them all out for you. Um, the last pop-up we have to show off here is an upgrade. Um, this one's obviously a banner notice, and I'm gonna disable some of the targeting rules to make it a little easier for myself. But effectively, it's set up to show if they've purchased any plan but have not purchased the annual premium plan. Um, and then it's also requiring that they have completed a course before they get this offer. But effectively, what this offer is, I'll show you that, is again a call to action here. This call to action is set up to actually add a specific plan to the cart, and then applies a discount code for 50% off as well. So when they actually use that, it immediately takes them to checkout, immediately applies the 50% off coupon. And again, these are very targetable. You can target this to a specific user if you really wanted to, or a small subset of users. And then completely customize everything. We're obviously using the block editor here, but you can use Beaver Builder, you can use Bricks, you can use Elementor. Um, all right, so let's see that one in action real quick. I got to turn off this. We're just going to disable all these rules here. And then we'll go out to the main site. There you go. Ooh, that's ugly. I should have looked at that first. Anyway, this is the part that makes money. I already have it. Ha! Okay, well, there you go. So let's see if I can get it. You guys get the idea. Let me see if I can go into my thing and turn myself off. Chris, feature request. I really need a way to do this
You can
faster.
unenroll yourself in the
I know.
membership.
Yeah, I know. We got to figure out which one it is here first. It's
You can do it at the membership level if you want.
here.
Yeah.
Walk me through it. So this one? Yeah, this one.
And then scroll down to the bottom,
Yeah, we get it.
and then, yeah, the button on the right.
Yes.
Oh, I thought you could boot them from there, but you could do it right there. Enrollment status, the second box down, you could change
Cancel.
that to, yeah,
Cancel.
that should do it.
All right, let's try it again. Where were we? I don't know. We're here, and then we refresh. That's the wrong one. The fun of a live demo, right? Let's see here. Upgrade open. Okay, try again. There you go. Half off on the gold membership. And you can start to layer these together. And on a simple site, it's easy to say there's not a lot of functionality for me. But if you have once you get the basics set up and you start trying to figure out how you can layer this in, there's lots of ways you can do fun stuff. It doesn't It's easy to get stuck on the money makers, but once you have the tools, change people's perception of pop-ups on your site, I guess. Do something fun, do something quirky, do something to get their attention. And then the biggest thing is make sure you're targeting your messaging. So like that pop-up for the upgrade was targeted specifically to people who have completed a course. So we know they're committed, we know they already own something, right? Um, that's going to be a really high converting pop-up in reality because we're giving people who we already know are mostly committed a huge discount and a huge value offering, and we're doing it right at the moment when we know they're going to see it. And that's a super powerful combination. But I think we're done with the main demos. So what I can do now is actually just kind of go through. If there's no questions, we can go through everything and start trying to um, tweak everybody's inspire everybody with what you can possibly do.
That sounds
Um,
that sounds good. I also have, I want to demo for people some of the ways we use PopUp Maker at LifterLMS ourselves. So
sure.
you just let me know when you want me to do that.
I'll tell you what. Let me run through the basic features, and then I'll turn it over to you.
All right.
Um, if you've used Pop-Up Maker already, then you obviously kind of understand things. Call to actions is a new system entirely. This only just came out in the last 2 months. These are trackable call to action links with currently specific actions. In the near future, you'll be able to do multiple actions per link. You can actually do conditional actions on the version where you have in development right now. Um, but for right now, you can do simple links. You can have your own tracking links if you want. You can do coupon applications, enroll people directly in courses. So if you want a free course upgrade, you can absolutely have a button that just takes them straight into enrolled status. You can trigger your custom send emails. You can you can add and remove people. So if they decide they don't want to be a member, or if they want to the way I actually saw this was a reset, honestly. It allows you to reset a course status with a couple button clicks. These don't have to be, and I need to reiterate, these do not have to be used only in pop-ups. These can actually be used in your in your emails to some extent. Remember, they require logged in status, so that will require them to log in when they get to your website. But and then of course a purchase access plan option here. All of those have plenty of settings to get you through everything. And then the one thing you'll notice is there's no value field here. Some call to actions have revenue tracking built in. This will track the added revenue. And to clarify, if uh, if you have a $500 item in cart and you have a call to action that upsells them to a $1,000 item, that call to action only tracks the $500 added value to the pop-up. It doesn't track the full cart value. So we're actually trying to show you exactly how much your pop-ups are making, not more, not less. And in fact, you can see here we're actually basing the ROI off of your license fees and trying to show you that you are making money with this right away. All right, so the non ones you can actually assign a value to. You can say that a link click on this is worth $5 to me or whatever. And then obviously pop-ups. We'll go into add new. For The Pro version, you already are going to get exit intent, scroll, and then for both WooCommerce and Lifter LMS, you have an item added to cart trigger. This detects when somebody's added a specific item to cart and shows a pop-up as soon as it's done, as soon as they've added it. A lot of the power, you're going to find those here in targeting. You're going to add a rule here. Okay. So if we go down, you can target towards specific, to show on specific courses, to show on specific things, but then you get into the more powerful stuff. You can check whether their cart has specific items, has a total more than or less than a value, whether the customer has spent more or less than a certain amount with you over their lifetime. You can check their subscription statuses, course enrollment, group memberships, you name it. We've kind of tried to add everything we could come up with. Anything that's not there, just ping me and we will get it added pretty quickly. And then I think that's the basics. Targeting rules, triggers, call to actions. Yeah, that should cover most things. And then analytics again. With the analytics, you get more data than is actually shown here. So historically, once you've set this up and you have it running, when we build the new reports that will show things like user breakdowns, new versus old, segmenting and things like that, you'll be able to take full advantage on your historical data. It's already all stored there. So this really is a full analytics system in the background, powering your pop-ups here. That should be a pretty decent top-level overview of the Lifter side of things. We are going to be, we are going to be also integrating with the actual LMS user interfaces shortly as well. So orders that came from a pop-up will show the attribution, like a little sidebar attribution. So we'll start circle linking everything together so you can kind of click around and find how things, this purchase was made by this pop-up and this call to action, and this call to action is related to these other 20 pop-ups. So, or these other 20 conversions or whatever.
That's awesome.
Cool.
And we are going to be doing a giveaway in a little bit, so I just want to mention it now. If you are live on this call, whether you're in the StreamYard webinar or watching on social media, just drop a comment down below. Just write the word pop-up so we can see who's live and then enter those names in for our drawing in a little bit. But before we get to that, I want to go ahead and drop your comment, but I wanted to show some of the ways that we use PopUp Maker. So I'm going to share my screen with you. And let me see if I can find the right one. This one. So we've got an incognito window. I'm going to LifterLMS.com. And I'm on the site. And this is just basic exit intent. So I'm going to move up towards the corner. And you're going to see, boom, this is what I would call like a lead magnet exit intent pop-up. So, hey, before you go, we have this great resource for you. Enter your name and email. And this is one of the ways you build your email list. So instead of having somebody visit your site and leave and they never hear from you ever again, you don't know who they were, having a lead magnet like this is a great way to use PopUp Maker. And to Daniel's point earlier, you can put tons of design effort into your pop-ups, like in terms of your brand, your style, your typography, whatever forms, button colors, all this stuff, that it's infinitely customizable. I wanted to show another one. So if we do our cart abandonment, so I'm on the Lifter LMS pricing page, and I'm going to buy the Infinity Bundle. And I'm going to start abandoning my cart. I'm heading up to the top corner and up. So they were going to leave anyways. Why not get started with our free version of our software? So that's one strategy. And what Daniel's showing is Daniel, you want to mute for a second? I think there's a little background noise.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to show our cart abandonment as well, because you can actually take these to the next level. But go ahead. I'll let you finish.
I know I'm sort of embarrassed because I'm showing my pop-ups to the master who's like, oh my gosh, this is so, we could do so much more here. And this is the cool thing about working with Daniel in the as being an early adopter of PopUp Maker and LifterLMS integration is he is there and he wants to help and he has all kinds of ideas.
Actually, I'd like your I'm gonna steal your free pop-up thing, and I'm gonna add new targeting rules for everybody here shortly, for have they started filling out checkout forms or
Yeah,
not?
right.
Because I like the free download before they start checkout, like, if they're on checkout and they get a free download after if they look at exit, but once they start checkout, I want them to see the
So
5% offer. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. Yeah, there's so see, this is how pop-up people think is if this, then that, like what's the offer? What's the behavior? This is another one that's Lifter LMS related. So whenever somebody downloads the free version of our software, they opt in and the first thing they see is this welcome message and activation instruction. But you can see after 5 seconds or whatever our targeting rules are, this, I think it's called a slide in pop up, comes up that encourages people to enroll in our quick start course, which is essentially a quick training on how to get started with Lifter LMS. So you could read the steps below, like they're like, okay, this is how I activate and get started. But here's like the full training if you just want to do look over my shoulder and watch me set up a Lifter LMS site. So those are just 3 ways, and there's more ways we use PopUp Maker, but I just wanted to share some of the different ways to think about it. So let's see
Absolutely.
your cart abandonment pop up.
Yes. Um, yeah, absolutely. Let me go to cart real quick here. Pricing. I wanna make sure it shows up before I share my screen again. Uh, let's see here. Did pricing, this one, okay. Alright, we should see that. We're gonna go here, it doesn't really matter. I probably already own this. I might actually have to do this in a logged out. I wanna do it while I'm logged in because the logged in version's way cooler. Uh, you can add sound effects. I don't know if you were able to hear that. There's a little ding that gets their attention. You can actually do lots of cool things.
Oh, sorry, we didn't have your screen up. Let me,
Oh,
I
did it?
just put it up.
Oh,
You
you're
wanna
good. Yeah, I'll close it. I say I don't know if you can hear the sound effect or not, but there's a little ding. I don't know if that
we
comes
can't
through or
hear it
not.
on the webinar, but I know
Yeah.
what you
Yeah, yeah.
mean.
So there's a little thing. Now, this is way over the top, because obviously we're kind of dog fooding our product. To use one of Chris's words here, we're selling our own product, using our product in this way. But these stats are accurate. Um, and we like I said, we've been running this for over this simple offer for over 7 years. Some of the cool things that we're doing here is these stats are actually live from the back end, though they're hooked to our old metric system currently, not the new one. I haven't updated that, but we're actually doing. Oh, I broke it. Dang. I'm actually doing something kind of fun here. To Again, this is purely custom design, but just showing you the kind of level of fun you can have. This doesn't actually show to non-admin users at the moment, but for anybody else, we're actually going to on our pop-up website. All of our own marketing pop-ups going forward, starting in 2026, will actually have this little button here. And when you actually leave the pop-up, you'll see it starts to try and get your attention. If I go to hit the close button, it tries to get your attention. It's like, hey, check me out. But the point will be to show live performance analytics for this actual pop-up. So you'll actually see, and this won't just be for this one. This will be for our free download exit intent offer on the website, right? And it'll show how many times it's been viewed, how many times it converts, like the average metrics for it. And we've built all this in a page builder. So we're using Bricks Builder for all of this. And everything in this is completely doable for anybody if you have a little bit of time and patience in the idea effectively. So like I said, there's no limits on this. You can literally come up with any solution you have in your head.
That's awesome. Um, for those of you live on the call, this is your time to ask any questions, any specific questions that you want to get into. We're going to draw our giveaway winners in just a little bit. And I'll just throw a question out there, Daniel. Like when you see, because you've seen hundreds of thousands of people use Pop-Up Maker, what are, even if it's not related to Lifter LMS, like what are the first pop-ups people should start with just to like learn how to use the tool? Like what are some of the first key most popular kinds?
Absolutely. If you're using Pro, obviously the very first thing you should set up is something for your collecting emails for your mailing list. Just target it everywhere except for your checkout page at first, and then you can go back and tweak that. Just simple form. Even if you don't have an offering on day one, I would still set that up because people who have got to your website, I think I want to say the number we always sell exit intent is 700% better than not exit intent, but that's subjective considering you're still talking about 1 to 3% of users and on average are gonna convert with the ad typically. We have websites that convert 5 to 10, 15%, but typically exit intent is gonna convert about 3%, whereas a non-exit intent will convert less than 1%. Um, so exit intent for your cart for that. If you have checkout, instant win is simple cart abandonment. You saw how simple the one I had on the demo site is. It's literally some text and a button. It doesn't have to be a much. You don't have to be big and flashy. Other ones that are immediately useful, if you're using Pro especially, you can schedule pop-ups based on your own local time zone or the user's local time zone, whatever you want to do. So you could do or like off hours during support. If support's not available, you might have a pop-up that shows up and says support might be delayed until we come online at X time. Other things people do are COVID notices. A lot of people had COVID notices. Obviously, that's 5 years too late for telling you about it now. But if you're going to have any upcoming notices, closures, anything like that,
Sale
delays, yep. What
or
did
a
you say?
sale, like
Sale,
your
yeah, yeah. Upcoming sales, absolutely. It's free because they're already there. Telling them about something that's going to happen shortly in the near future is it's free advertisement, even if you're not ready for it. Um, I we could come up with dozens more. It's really going to be per site, honestly. But those are the quick wins, obviously. Cart abandonment and an exit intent offer for capturing email leads are two instant wins.
That's awesome. Um, and I just wanted to show one more because we use Pop-Up Maker so much. I was getting I just wanted to find the ones that we use the most. So let me just get my screen up. Just give me a second to get in the right place.
Let's turn mine off. There you go.
So another way to think about using pop-ups, in this case,
Mm,
we have
wait.
like three choices that people could choose from. These are sandbox demo sites for Lifter LMS for different use cases. But we're using pop-up here to basically collect the email and kick off an automation that then redirects to the video presentation. We're building our email list and so on. And yeah, so like each one of these is its own pop-up triggered on a button click.
Yeah, I'm a
So
dodo. I didn't even mention click pop-ups. Wow.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, go ahead.
that's how we got started realistically.
Okay.
That was the first trigger. That is in the free version, and ours are the most flexible click triggers available. They work with any page builder. You can set them up on any element on your site. But yeah, that is our number one, and it started with Easy Modal like 12 years ago. Was another plugin I built, and we just needed a the contact menu item on the main menu. We didn't want them to have to go to a page every time. We just wanted a form to show up. So or get quote, for example. So that's another quick win. If you have a quote form or a contact subscribe for something like that on your main menu, you can absolutely have it just show up in a pop-up and they never have to change pages. It actually increases the rate at which they fill the form out and submit drastically.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to think about it. A great time to use pop-ups is when you want to keep people on a page but present something without having them leave. So we have another one like on our podcast website where and this is a strategy to get email addresses where we don't want them to leave the episode they're actively listening to. So the pop-up comes up and says, "Hey, would you like to know the 5 most popular podcasts out of the 550 that are on here?" they enter their email, and then the pop-up success message displays the top 5 episodes. So
So
that's
that's
an example.
you brought up videos and, like, just to tease off some of the things we've already got on our short list for features for LMS is a lot of video integration with your video player. We absolutely are gonna take advantage of that. You'll be able to trigger a pop-up when they pause a video, when they stop a video. You'll be able to set targeting rules based on the current watch percentage. So don't show this pop-up unless they've finished more than 50%, and then they hit pause, right? Are you sure you wanna leave now? You're almost done. We're gonna do some really fun stuff with videos, including you'll be able to do automated achievements and stuff like that based on, "Oh, you finished your first video." So, like, you can start to see how you can tie the gamification together with other things once we start layering in a few more pieces here. So they could watch their very first video and immediately get an achievement, right? There's your Discord, like, profile building, um, gamification of the system.
Yeah, and if you look at something, you can get inspiration from things like Duolingo and like kind of what you think of as like an app to build more app-like experiences, but on your website, you can use PopUp Maker to do
Yep,
things. So you could be inspired by some app you're using and be like, wait a second, I could do that on my own website. I just need to use PopUp Maker.
yep.
I
And
am
that's
good. Go
honestly what we
ahead.
do is we actually spend a lot of time saving screenshots of pop-ups I come across while I'm randomly browsing the internet, and so I have a huge folder of concept pop-ups that we've seen throughout the years, and as well as some egregious, I actually probably should start a blog on just the bad ones. That'd be fun.
And just to show one other thing here, um, Daniel's team, let me get my site in the right place. Sorry, I'm being not as on the spot with the screen sharing as I usually am. But Daniel's team actually wrote an awesome blog about how to on the Lifter LMS blog about top pop-ups for course creators. So I'll put a link to this in the chat. But
So we're gonna have to update that. That was pre our LMS integration.
yeah, so
Yeah.
there's tons of ideas here and just more concepts just to get the juices flowing on what you can do. Because really the sky's the limit. But I'll put a link to this in the chat. So if you want to kind of brainstorm about, hey, what pop-ups could I do?
And
There's a
if
link for that.
and and this year we're gonna be starting to, with the community stuff, we're actually gonna be starting a new, like, showcase, customer user showcase, that will kinda be put together and then put out in our newsletter as well. So if you have an idea or if you have a nicely designed pop-up, we would absolutely encourage you to submit it through the community, either the LMS channel specifically if it's related to the LMS stuff, and then that way we can include it in future submissions or even write a guide about it or invite you to do a case study or something. So we're absolutely looking for people who want a little bit of help or to get you to the next level or who have ideas and just need that touch of making sure everything's working the way they want it to. Because we're looking for both the inspiration to help you inspire you, but also to find inspiration for what we can build next. So,
That's awesome. Now we're gonna get to the giveaway, but first, everybody wins here. I'm putting that link in the chat one more time to get Pop-Up Maker with a generous discount.
and
And
please don't hate me. The very small team of, well, 1 and a half for our website and marketing, and that is me, and I'm also the developer. So you'll notice that it doesn't talk about a lot of the new features yet. You're seeing them honestly before the website is talking about them. So they are there. Buy Pro Plus, you will get everything we've talked about today. And if you have any trouble, our support team is online and can respond within an hour, usually.
take Daniel up on his offer to, help and
Please do.
be a voice for what else you'd like to see or learn how to do with Pop-Up Maker and Lifter.
And you get a pop-up, and you get a pop-up. Yes, absolutely. And we've as I say, some interesting metrics. It's always fun to just share a little bit. it took a long time for us to actually calculate out how many pop-ups we've served over the years because we don't track everybody's. We only get the people who've opted into usage tracking. We've extrapolated over 30 billion pop-up views just from the sites we know about worldwide, which effectively equates to something like 10 per person who's on the internet. So basically, everybody has seen our work and hated it probably at least once or twice. Though we try not to make them the annoying, crappy pop-ups. That's not my
But that's
job.
the thing, that's the power, like, a pop-up should be useful or an opportunity that somebody can accept or decline.
Yep.
Sometimes they get a bad rap, but, as a marketer and a person who's interested in revenue generation or guiding user behavior or learner success, I love pop-ups. I think they're awesome.
And for every person who hates pop-ups and won't put them on their website ever, uh, 5 minutes into a conversation with them after asking them, "Well, do you not wanna make more money? Do you not want more leads?" Um, Once you explain that pop-ups might be annoying, but they absolutely 100% without a
Or
doubt work better than any other solution that's available currently, all of those people come around too. My wife is anti-tech, anti-marketing, anti-in-my-face anything, and even she uses our products now. So if I can get a person who prefers notepad and paper to pick it up, then I think it's a solid solution for just about every website that runs WordPress.
100%, and it was, like, 5 years ago when I calculated it, and this was earlier days in Lifter LMS, but it was somewhere around $40,000 flowed through the pop-ups. Like, were
Yep,
directly attributable to using pop-ups. Um,
I
cool,
agree.
well, we've got our winners drawn. So,
Awesome.
Dina Hooley, you've won a, from PopUp Maker, so reach out to
Sweet.
Daniel. And I'll do however you want to do that, Daniel. But for me at Lifter LMS, it's Joe Wharton. You've won a free year of the Lifter LMS Infinity Bundle. So all you need to do to get that, Joe, is email team@lifterlms.com, TEAM at lifterlms.com. Mention you won on this
Mm.
webinar, and we'll hook you up with that free license. But how should Dina Hooley get in touch with you, Daniel?
I just put our support email address in there. If you That's a great way to do it. I can just have the team. I've already got a discount code ready for her.
Awesome. And I'll just type it in for you too. For Joe, reach out to team@lifterlms.com and we'll be ready for you. And I want to thank everybody for coming. I'm super excited that Daniel added Lifter LMS integration to PopUp Maker. I've been a long time PopUp Maker user, and like we're saying, I'm one of those guys who I wasn't really into pop-ups, but then I started doing it because you're doing marketing better. Why don't we try a pop-up to build our email list? And over the course of Lifter LMS, I have had 114,000 people plus opt into our email list. And a lot of those, I would say half, if not more, came through pop-ups.
Yep.
So, and there's all kinds of other pop-ups we do for other reasons. So they work. Go get yourself a copy of PopUp Maker, the Pro Plus level,
Yep.
so that you get all the sweet LMS related features. But if you just want to dip your toe in the water, start with the free version and just start experimenting with it.
Absolutely. And if you have questions, feel free to reach out to our support team. Sarai, our support team lead, is fantastic, very compassionate, and will help you get over the finish line. And then when she can't, I obviously can step in and we'll get you where you need to go. If you're on the community, if you join buy the Pro Plus plan and we get you into the LMS community part, I will be there responding directly. I try not to go into email support unless I absolutely have to, but I will be in the community group and we will absolutely help you get things to the next level. And if you have feature ideas, please, please, please drop them. Drop them to support, drop them to Chris. It doesn't matter. We will get them loaded in there.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate everybody in the comments who's saying thanks. It was great to have y'all on. Thanks for spending the time with us today. Daniel, thank you so much for this presentation and doing what you're doing for the course building community. It's really
Awesome.
awesome. You out there watching, go get your copy of PopUp Maker